So, hello everyone. Today we are starting with our figure of speech. So, first let's understand what is figure of speech. Okay. So, figure of speech means that we are using or expressing our emotions in a way that is not direct. Okay, we are not expressing it directly. Okay, we are saying something, but that means something else. Okay. So, you can write it as that a non-literal expression to say something in terms of something else. Okay, so now let's see what is the first figure of speech. So the first one is alliteration. Okay, so in this case what happens is that there is repetition of consonant. Okay, repetition of consonant sound. Okay, so first let's see one note you can write it that vowels and consonant. Okay, so you know that there are five vowels. So five vowels, and that is A, E, I, O, U. So now let's see what are consonants. So consonants are all alphabets except vowels. Okay, so now let's see the example for alliteration. Okay, example for alliteration. Okay, a big black bug bit a big black bear. Okay, so in this you can see that over here B and this B. So these are all consonant. Okay, so the beginning word of this big is B, starting from B, and black starting from B. So this is the example for alliteration. Okay, and now you can see that the second figure of speech is anaphora. So in this case what happens is that there is repetition of phrases after subsequent set of lines. Okay, so now let's see the example for this. So you can see that we shall fight on beaches, we shall fight on landing grounds, and we shall fight on the field. Okay, so over here you can see that there is repetition of we shall fight, we shall fight, we shall fight. So these are phrases. Okay, so repetition of phrases. Okay, so you can see we shall fight is over here phrase, and over here and over here. Okay, so this will come as anaphora. Okay, so another is personification. Okay, so in this what happens is that we are describing something, giving it human qualities. Okay, so you can write it that the attribution of a personal nature or human characteristics to something non-human or the representation of an abstract quality in human form. Okay, so now let's see the example for this. the little dog laughed to see such fun. Okay, so over here we have given the dog the human quality as laughing. Okay, so over here this is the example for personification. So the another one is apostrophe. Okay, so what does this means is that we are addressing someone who is not present, okay, who is absent. So to address an imaginary person, object, or idea as if they were a person. Okay, so now let's see the example for this. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Okay, that example you can take is who is at the door. Okay, or you can see their car is red. So you can see the another one is assonance. Okay, so in this what happens is that there is repetition of vowel sounds in words, okay, that are close to each other. Okay, so you can write repetition of vowel sound of vowel sounds in words that are close together in a sentence. Okay, so now let's see the example for this. So the example is his tender here might bear his memory. Okay, so in this case you can see that there is eh sound, that is a vowel, and it's in tender, ear, bear and memory. Okay, so this is the example for assonance. So now let's study euphemism. Okay, so in this what happens is that we uses a polite or a positive word in place of a negative word, or you can say a word that makes the another person uncomfortable. Okay, so you can write it uses a polite or positive word in place of a negative, or words that can make another person uncomfortable. Okay, so now let's understand it through an example. So let's take an example. So in place of saying that the other person is dead, you can say that he is no longer with us. Okay, and for fired, if you have to fire an employee, so you can say let go. Okay, so and for drunk, you can say that is plastered. Okay, another example you can take that instead of saying toilet, you can say restroom. Okay, so the next one is ellipsis. So in this what happens is that there is like this some gap. Okay, so what does this means is that it has to be continued. Okay, it's not complete, it has to be continued. Okay, and you can say that some words or phrases, sentences have been missed. Okay, So the next one is sarcasm. So in this what happens is that we are using some words that mean something else, okay? But why do we use that word? We use that words so that we can insult the other person, okay? So you can write it as the use of irony to mock or convey contempt, okay? So first let's understand what does irony means over here. So this means that we are using words that means something else but we are using it to insult the other person, okay? That meaning is something else and we are trying to speak something else, okay? You can see that contracting things is coming in the middle, okay? And mock means we are using words so that we can insult the other person, okay? So now let's understand it through an example. Oh great, oh great, another meeting that could have been on email, okay? So in this scenario you can see that two person are meeting each other and one of them says that we could have met on email also, okay? So that means he is trying to mock the other person that there was no need to meet face to face, we could have chatted on email or we could have chatted through our phones, okay? So you can see the another one is pun. So what happens in this case is that there are some words that have more than one meaning. You can say that they have multiple meanings, okay? But their sounds are similar, okay? So these are known as pun words. So you can write it as that words that have multiple meanings but they sound alike, okay? So alike over here means similar, okay? So now let's see the example in this. So example is fish are smart because they live in a school, okay? So over here you can see the school over here has two meaning. So first one is that a group of fish is also called school, okay? And you can see kids go to study in school, okay? Kids go to study in school, okay? So you can see that school has two meanings over here and but the sound is similar, okay? So this will come as example of pun. So you can see that the next one is irony. So in this case what happens is that we are using some words but what that actually means we are not meaning to say that, okay? So if we are saying something the opposite we mean or you can say the opposite it happens, okay? So you can write it that we uses words to convey the opposite of their literal meaning. Okay, so now let's see the example in this. Fire station burns down. Okay, sorry, it's fire. Okay, and second one you can see your hands are as clean as mud. Okay, so the next one is litiges. So in this what happens is that you are using a double negative, okay, double negative, or you can say that affirmatives expressed by negating its opposite, okay? So you can say that if you want to say that she is beautiful, so you are saying that she is not ugly, okay? So example you can say she is not ugly. So over here you are using two negative. How two negative? Not negative and ugly negative. Okay, so you are using, instead of using beautiful, you are saying not ugly. Okay, this also means beautiful, but you are using double negative to say that thing. Okay, so this will be the example for litigates. Okay. So the next one is metaphor. So in this case, what happens is that we are comparing two things by stating that one thing is another, or you can say we are comparing it through using is or are. Okay. So now let's write it. Comparing two unrelated things by stating that one thing is another, or by using is or are. Okay, so now let's see the example. Time is a thief. Okay, so in this, what it's mean is that time takes away our moments or experience. Okay, so the next one is simile. So what happens in this case is that we are comparing two things by using like or as. Okay, comparing two unrelated things using like or as. Okay, and for example you can take that she is as beautiful or good as Madonna. So the next one is onomatopoeia. So in this case what happens is that there are some words that denote sounds. Okay, so you can add words representing sounds. Okay, so you can see example is tick tock. You can say this is the sound of clock. Okay, and some more examples are buzz and meow, his and clap. Okay, so these all you can say these are representing the sound. So these are the example for this. Okay, so the next one is merism. So in this what happens is that there are two words that are not related to each other, but they are used to refer to one whole thing. Okay, so you can write it as two contrasting words are used to refer to a whole. Okay, so let's see the example for this. Searched, high and low. Okay, so what does this means is that we are searching everywhere. Okay, so you can see that there are two words that are opposite to each other. Okay, high and low are opposite to each other. Okay, but what does this means is that to one whole thing. Okay, what is the whole thing over here? That we are searching everywhere, searching everywhere. Okay, so you can see that this is the whole thing that we are referring. Okay, so you can see some more examples are flash and bones. So what does this refer to? This refer to our body, refer to body. Okay, and you can write sword and soccer. Okay, and you can write good and evil. Okay, so these are the example for this. Okay, so the next one is metonymy. So in this case what happens is that we are using some words in place of another words. Okay, but those are related to each other. Okay, if we are replacing one word with another, but we have to choose carefully so that they are related to each other. Okay, so you can write it as a word is replaced with another word closely associated with the original concept. Okay, so now let's see the example for this. So the example is the crown, that refers to the king. Okay, so the next one is synecdoche. So in this what happens is that we are using a word that refer to a whole thing. Okay, so you can write it as the a part of something used to refer to the whole thing. Okay, so now let's see the example in this. All hands on deck. Okay, so you can see that over here hand represent sailors. Okay, so let's see one more example in this. 50 sail. Okay, so over here sail means ship. So now you might be wondering that synecdoche and merism are somewhat similar to each other. Okay, but no, there is some difference in this both. Okay, so over here you can see that we are using a single word. Okay, but over here we are using two opposite words. Okay, so this is the difference between these two. Okay, so you can write it as, so for writing the difference you can write it as that synecdoche uses a single part to represent the whole. Okay, but while merism uses a pair of contrasting parts to signify the entire entirety of something. Okay, so hope so the video was helpful. Thank you everyone, and do subscribe my channel and do hit the like button.